This channel demonstrates self-love and positivity. Today I'm doing a get ready for you guys. Mostly these get ready with me are for you to hear what I'm saying. I'm going to chat with you guys while I get ready to go out tonight. My birthday's coming up in a few weeks and I'm gonna get ombre powdered brows. So hopefully I won't have to fill them in as much. Anyway, I'm going off on a whole tangent. So this video by the title is how to keep romance present in your relationship. So obviously this is for a romantic relationship. Me and Teddy have been like going through like weird phases, but I think it's mostly on my end. Yeah, I think it's mostly on my end because I'm not used to relationships. I'm just not used to them. Usually I stop dating someone or like self-sabotage at the 3-month mark. So I feel like I'm kind of a hopeless romantic, and I think it's easy for a guy to start out being a hopeless romantic, but then like later on they kind of just stop being a hopeless romantic. They kind of just get used to having you. So I'm not saying that he's doing anything like bad. I think it's just more what my standard of romance is. I just don't really feel it or like see it. I'm all about action. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the romance, just in my personal opinion, hasn't been there, and it's just got to a point where I was just feeling very friendly with him, like friendly vibes. And so we just been seeing where things go and are hanging out and trying to build that romantic connection again. I might have to do more to my eyebrows, and I really don't care to, but the powder is just not doing nothing. So I'm just gonna give you guys some tips on like how to keep romance alive in your relationships, just because no one really teaches you growing up like how to maintain a relationship. It wasn't taught to me how to remain in a romantic relationship. But anyway, so here are some tips. The first tip is make sure that it's a mutual choice of the romance, making sure that the other person has agreed to giving you those romantic gestures. Yes, no, written agreement, I'm not really sure, but figure out how to come to some type of agreement on if the romantic gestures will be put into effect. I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera. I just put some waterproof pomade. I don't know what it's called. I put some waterproof pomade on it so that it like looks a lot more matte compared to how oily it was looking before. But anyway, okay, so I gave you the first tip is that it has to be mutually agreed upon. So the next tip to keep romance alive is to be specific in your needs and in your wants and how you want those gestures done. Setting boundaries and asking someone for the things that you want in life. I think a selected few are taught how to do this in a healthy way. So not making demands, not nagging, just expressing to the person like, hey, this is something that I want and I need in order to feel secure, safe, loved, cared for in this relationship. It's not saying that everything that you're doing as of lately is not good enough. It's just saying that I know myself well enough to know what I need in order to feel safe and loved and cared for in this relationship. An example, I need for you to be a little bit more affectionate in the way that you're comfortable, just as long as I'm comfortable with it as well. It can just be specific enough for them to know like what areas you need the romance to be just a little bit more. I've never done this. I've never done this in a relationship before. Never. Like, I'm not saying my relationship right now is like 100% healthy, because what does healthy even mean? Like, we're human, we go through things, life, you know, like there's all these things that happen in life that someone may not treat you in a way that you prefer, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's unhealthy, you know. So I think just being human is hard because we go through so many different emotions and so many different events in life that we don't necessarily know how we're going to respond to those situations. I think that I've never had to do that in a relationship before, express the things that I want, because I didn't know that that was a thing. I just thought that, you know, you find someone and you accept them for who they are, and, you know, whatever it is they give you is what they give you. Like, I didn't really think that I had to communicate, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need, with someone who's grown. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't make sense to me before. But what I will say is, when you don't express the things that you want and the things that you need, you end up becoming very resentful of the other person. And, you know, it kind of messes up your self-esteem. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, I'm not deserving of this because this person doesn't do this for me, you know? And it's like, no, that's not the case. They just don't know that you want or need those things, you know? And if you have someone that loves you and that cares for you and that wants the best for you, you'll be able to express those things to them, and they will take it well. You might have to express it multiple times for them to truly understand that this is serious. Like, this, I mean business. The third tip is to take action. Take serious action. You can't really get anything in life that you don't work for, right? So that whole saying, you don't appreciate something unless you have to work hard for it, or something of that degree. So just because you're throwing out, hey, I want this, does not mean that you don't need to do work on your end. I've learned to be very accountable for the way that I treat someone. And so I know that I'm not gonna be asking for something from someone that I don't already give. If you're going to create a plan, hey, I want this, you're being specific, and you're gonna take actual action into hopefully like receiving those things, like, you have to be giving as well. So with this step also comes accountability on what you can do in order to make your partner feel secured, in order to make your partner feel loved and cared for in the way that they need to. Relationships are reciprocity. So just make sure that you're doing what you need to do for your partner as well. It's not just, hey, I've been seeing that you're not doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm perfect and I don't have anything I need to work on. Like, no, it's, we are working on these things together in order to get to a place where we're both happy. And personally, right now, I don't really want to get into like everything that's going on, because it's all still new for me. Like, this is just a new experience, like asking someone for what I need, like trying not to run away, you know, trying to stay sane within myself. And there's a difference between patience and settling. So settling is knowing that that person is not capable at all of giving you what you want and what you need. and you still stay and hope for better. That's settling. Patience is knowing that that person is capable, showing them love, you staying true to yourself and being authentic in how you treat them, and them seeing that and then taking action. Right? So with each one comes action. So with patience and with settling builds resentment, and patience builds the relationship and builds romance. And a lot of people don't have that patience. I can honestly say that. I watch so many dating shows and I see on multiple occasions someone going back to someone else because they didn't give it enough time. I do feel like as human beings, we should always take the time to cater to ourselves and our needs. I've been wearing the same 3 lip glosses for the last month. I'm not usually that way. I usually switch it up. But anyway, so that patience, it's not easy. A lot of people don't want to do it. They just don't want to do it because they feel like they're settling. They don't know the difference between settling and patience. If you truly love yourself, truly, you will be able to walk away. Wow, I've had this on the whole time. You will be able to walk away from any situation with your head held high if someone is not giving you what you want out of life. You really will. I'm gonna put my eyelashes on off camera. This is the finished look. Me and Teddy are actually going to get some food and follow those 3 tips, just to start somewhere with building that romance back into your relationship. The first tip is to make sure that it is mutual. Make sure that you guys mutually agree on taking those steps to creating romance in your life. Okay. Number 2 is to be specific. Be specific in the things that you're asking for. If you want romance, make sure that you're specific down to the T. Hey, I really would like for you to kiss me good morning and good night, or kiss me before you leave, or kiss me before we go to bed. Just start small. It doesn't have to be these big things to start. It can eventually, if things are really bad, but just small things will really help your romance kind of get started and the intimacy build a little bit more. And then number 3 is to take those actions. That involves both partners taking action on how they are committing to pushing the romance forward. So not only does your partner have to take action, you also have to take action and take accountability for what you can do and what you not necessarily haven't done, but what you can do moving forward. And with these steps, everything is going to take time. It's going to take patience, and just know when patience is turning into something that's a little bit more toxic, like resentment. Know yourself well enough and get in tune with yourself well enough to know what it is that you can deal with and handle for X amount of time. These are the tips that I have for you guys. I hope that this helps for someone, and thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.